Prime Minister has taken the podium there in the UN General Assembly Hall. We will give a moment for him to get some applause from some in the crowd there that was motivated.
Order in the hall.
And he will take the speech. We will listen to it here, and we'll have analysis for you on the other side.
Please, order in the hall. Please, order in the hall.
All right, what you're seeing here is the big walkout from the UN General Assembly, Sandra, because this actually has happened before to Prime Minister Netanyahu. You can see that the applause is coming from the Israelis as they sit there and watch these individuals decide that they can't sit and listen to a speech.
Yeah, trying to get order as Benjamin Netanyahu looks ready to deliver his speech. He is watching on, as you just saw.
You made a good point right before we came to air about when we were on air at the very beginning that, yes, of course, these people are walking out of the speech, but you can bet, Sandra, they're going to be paying attention. But the other people that will be hearing the speech are in Gaza because the IDF has set up loudspeakers all throughout Gaza in order for this speech to be heard.
Israel set apart from the nations. Numbers 23:9 says, "Lo, the people shall dwell alone and shall not be reckoned among the nations." This was spoken by Balaam, a prophet who could not curse Israel, but instead declared God's blessing. He foretold that Israel would always remain distinct, not reckoned as just another nation. In our time, this is vividly seen in how Israel is treated in world politics, especially through the United Nations, which regularly passes more resolutions condemning Israel than all other nations combined. Though recognized politically, Israel is never treated as an equal among the nations. This fulfills the spirit of Balaam's words. Israel is set apart, yet constantly resisted and isolated. A nation born in a day. Isaiah 66:8-14 gives a prophecy about Israel's miraculous rebirth. Shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. In 1948, after nearly 2,000 years of dispersion, Israel was suddenly reborn as a nation in a single day. This was unprecedented in human history and a direct fulfillment of Isaiah's words. Yet right alongside this miracle, God promised comfort, peace, and glory for his people, while also declaring indignation toward his enemies. Verse 14. This indicates that the restoration of Israel will stir up global opposition. The time of Zion's glory and the Lord's appearing. Psalm 102, verse 16 says, "When the Lord shall build up Zion, he shall appear in his glory." The building up of Zion, Israel's return and restoration, is directly connected to the nearness of the Lord's return. We are watching this happen now, the regathering of the Jewish people, the prosperity of the land, and Jerusalem at the center of world attention. Yet the same rebuilding that signals the Lord's coming also triggers hostility from the nations who oppose God's plan. God himself guards Israel. Psalm 121, verse 4 reminds us, "Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep." While the nations may rise up against Israel, God never abandons her. The UN, world powers, and even future prophetic alliances, like those described in Ezekiel 38-39 and Zechariah 12-14, will conspire against Israel, but God himself will intervene. This is why Scripture says that when the nations gather against Jerusalem, the Lord will fight for his people. Zechariah 14:2-3. Putting it all together. 1. Numbers 23:9. Israel will always stand apart and not be reckoned among the nations, foreshadowing her unique treatment in the UN and world affairs. 2. Isaiah 66. Israel's miraculous rebirth in 1948 fulfills prophecy, but also guarantees conflict as God shows favor to her while judging her enemies. 3 Psalm 102:16. The rebuilding of Zion is the signal that the Lord's return is near. 4 Psalm 121 verse 4. Despite global opposition, Israel's survival is guaranteed by the God who never slumbers. Summary: the Bible foretold that Israel would be reborn in a single day, stand alone among the nations, and face global hostility before the Lord's return. Today, the world stage, especially the UN, reflects exactly this reality. Yet the same scriptures assure us that the God of Israel watches over her, and that the return of Christ is near. For when the Lord shall build up Zion, he shall appear in his glory, Zechariah's prophecy. The nations against Jerusalem, Zechariah 12, 2-3. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. This prophecy shows the climax of Israel's isolation. Jerusalem will become the center of controversy for the whole world. This is already happening today. The UN continually debates Jerusalem's status, denies Israel's right to its eternal capital, and pressures her with international resolutions. The prophecy says all nations, meaning global consensus against Israel, which lines up with what we see in the UN stage. The siege of Jerusalem and the Lord's intervention. Zechariah 14, 2-3. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. This shows that the hostility will eventually escalate into a final military conflict. The nations will literally surround Jerusalem. But notice, it is the Lord who says, I will gather. God allows this so he can reveal his power and glory in defending his people. The climax comes when Christ himself returns to fight for Israel. Verse 3. How this fits the earlier scriptures? Numbers 23:9. Israel stands apart, not reckoned among the nations. Today we see the UN consistently isolate her. Isaiah 66, 8-14. Israel was born in a day in 1948, fulfilling prophecy. But this restoration stirs up the anger of the nations, even as God promises peace and glory to Jerusalem. Psalm 102, verse 16. The rebuilding of Zion is the signal that the Lord is about to appear in his glory. Psalm 121, verse 4. Even when surrounded, Israel survives because the Lord himself is her keeper. Zechariah 12-14. The world's political hostility will eventually become a military assault against Jerusalem. In that moment, Christ himself will return to deliver his people. The big picture: 1. Israel reborn, Isaiah 66, against all odds fulfilling prophecy. 2. Isolated from the nations, Numbers 23, treated differently, especially in the UN. 3. Zion being built up, Psalm 102, showing we are near the Lord's appearing. 4. Protected by God, Psalm 121, though hated, Israel survives. 5. Final assault, Zechariah 12-14. All nations gathered, Christ returns to destroy them and reign from Jerusalem. Summary: the Bible gives a consistent prophetic outline. Israel would be reborn in a single day, stand apart from the nations, and face mounting hostility until the entire world comes against her. This will climax in Jerusalem's siege, but it is precisely then that the Lord himself will appear in glory to fight for his people and establish his kingdom.